Hi. So I've come up with a technique to make scale mail. It's a cheaper alternative made with aluminum cans. There's many different ways to connect them. I'm using can tab chainmail. If you want to make chainmail from can tabs, there's plenty of videos on YouTube for that. But then you can save the cans and make these. They are a little lighter than the regular metal dragon scales that you can buy, but I think they fall and move nicely. This is a shoulder piece for a jacket I'm making. They could look like dragon scales or feathers, depending on the shape and size you want. You could even use a round punch and make mermaid or fish scales. You can even paint them all one color if you wanted to as well. Here I put a row of them along the collar of this can tab chainmail. Here's what you need to make them. Cans, of course. Most importantly, gloves. Do not do this project unless you have gloves, please. Safety glasses. Don't be stupid. Paper punch in the shape you want. This is a Fisker's squeeze punch. I'll link it in the description. An X-Acto knife. Scissors. If you use my technique to attach them to can tab chainmail, you will need a small hole punch. This is 1/16 inch. Also, if you use my technique, you will need 6mm jump rings and 2 needle nose pliers. Now just carefully poke into the can with the X-Acto knife. Make a slit a few inches long along the top. Now you can use your scissors to cut the rest. Go along the edge. Then along the side. And then around the bottom edge. Okay, now you can start punching. With this punch you can see where you're punching if you want to get a certain design. But you need to wear your glasses and remember to flip it down when you squeeze. Please wear glasses. Please. Because if you forget to flip the punch down, this can happen. Once you run out of space to punch, you can cut the excess off. Get the scraps out of the way because those will poke you. Here I'm just punching out the designs I like. Now gather all your scales and get rid of the scraps. You may need to take off your gloves to do this part, so be careful. Find a hard corner like a block or edge of a table and stack 3 of the scales together. Then hold them in the center and fold. Hold and fold. If you don't have a block, you can use the edge of a container. Pretty much any sort of edge. You can press them flat so that they lay better. They don't have to be a hard 90-degree angle. Now, if you're going to use jump rings to attach them to the can tab chainmail, use the little hole punch and punch each side a little less than 1 centimeter apart. Now if you don't want to mess with jump rings at all, you can use a regular sized hole punch. Cut a little slit to open it, and then attach them right to the chainmail. Just remember that your chainmail will be oriented differently if you do that. Then you can glue them on the back. Or Or, if you prefer to use jump rings and you don't want to mess with can-tab chainmail, you can punch regular holes and then use one of the original methods. There's lots of videos on that on YouTube. But this is the way that I'm going to do mine. So just remember that you start at the bottom and work your way up. It's easier to work with it upside down. So this is the top and this is the bottom. It also saves time to open all your jump rings before you start. Loop the jump ring through the middle bar of the can tab, then through one of the holes in your scale. Then close the jump ring. Repeat with the second hole. Then you go on to the next row, and so on. You just keep going one row at a time, all the way up. Here's a close-up of that so you can see it easier. So if you want to make a scale mail piece and attach it to a jacket or something like I did, get some Red Bull tabs or another tab that doesn't have a huge hole at the top. Then get some screw back spikes and those will hold it to the jacket. I hope this tutorial has been helpful for anybody that wants to make their own scale mail.